Yo, what's going on, Dragon Ballers? Welcome back to another deck profile. Today I'm going to be sharing with you guys my red-green Vegeta baby deck. So this is a leader that's a big throwback, one that I used to love playing back like when it first came out and actually got some power booster support. But yeah, the format is very diverse right now, and it's actually really fun to build decks. And I think the red-green cards are just very good. I've talked about it in videos and articles. I think the cards you can play for red-green, obviously Piccolo Jr., but also SS3 Gohan Master Surpassed are very good. The trick is kind of finding a leader that helps you get the engine going, and I think this one's pretty good. So with that all being said, guys, if you're new here, make sure to subscribe, hit that bell so you never miss a video. And if you guys want to help support the channel, there are many ways down in the description to do so. But particularly today, guys, if you're looking for custom sleeves, play mats, even foil play mats, check out the link in the description to yourplaymat.com. That link will get you 10% off your order. It does help out the channel, and I highly recommend their stuff. Their art sleeves are pristine. They don't peel, which for me is the biggest thing because I don't have to double sleeve them, and I really don't like shuffling double sleeve decks. So that's awesome for me. Love those guys at Your Playmat. Check them out again, 10% down in the description. Let's get into the video. All right, so going into the leader, again, a throwback of a leader. So we have the Unawakened side, 10k. When this card attacks a leader, draw one, activate main once per turn, choose a card in your life, add it to your hand, then choose one of your opponent's battle cards, and it loses 5,000 power for the duration of the turn. So that can get rid of like most one-drops in the game, but you can also pair that with some other minus abilities in the deck to kill bigger things. Awaken your life 4 or less, untap 2 energy. Untap 2 is huge. It's Awaken we don't really see too much nowadays because it is very powerful. Sand Power Vegeta Baby on the Awakened side. When this card attacks, draw one, activate main once per turn, choose one of your battle cards, loses 15,000 power for the turn, and if you do, choose two of your opponent's battle cards and they lose 10,000 power for the duration of the turn. So again, like clearing weenies, you could like use your leader's effect on the Unawakened side, take yourself down to 4 life, awaken, then use activate main on the Awakened side to kill a 15k, let's just say. And it's kind of nice that Piccolo is a 16,000 power battle card because you can just use it on your Piccolo and your Piccolo will survive, and you get to -2 things, which is kind of sweet. So getting into the main deck here, again, we are playing red-green, and here's the main bulk of, I guess, the strategy and the win conditions. So 4 Piccolo Jr. Eradicator of Peace paired with 2 Assimilate. This card was obviously a force when Red-Green King Vegeta was a thing, but now that deck's been nerfed into the ground, Red-Green isn't really super aggro. Like, you can do a lot of damage early. Piccolo Jr. is possibly going to do 3 damage on his own, but with Tao gone, Belmod gone, and Bardock the Resolute gone, your aggro potential is obviously a lot less, which is the main reason why I really want to play a deck that can play S3 Gohan Master Surpassed. It does require a mono red leader, and that's what we have here, a mono red Saiyan leader actually. So Vegeta Baby is that, and I've messed around with a few others. Nappa, problem with Nappa was he doesn't really draw enough cards to see your pieces consistently. He's very good defensively because he just spams the blockers all the time, but the format's not aggressive enough to warrant that. Starter Vegeta is probably the best mono red Saiyan leader in the game, but it's a little bit over reliant on unisons. So getting that like red-green charge by turn 2 is a bit conflicting with wanting to have a unison play on turn 2. And there are some other random options that just honestly aren't really that good. I do like Vegeta Baby because of its ability to get Awakened when it needs to, and the Untap 2 I do think is pretty good. Typical just draw power plus Piccolo should keep your hand size pretty decent. But yeah, Gohan, for what it does and how it serves as our win con, is Deflect Barrier, Alliance red-green. If your leader is a mono red sand card, deal damage to your opponent. Then until the start of your next turn, your opponent can't play battle cards 20,000 power or less unless they place 1 card from their life in their drop area each time. So that hits so many things in the format. Think about, like, I don't know, Charismatic Villain, think about Topo, think about the Galactic Buster engine with a 4-drop Bojack. Like, there's so many random things your opponent can't play when you do this. They can still play bombs, but they're going to be severely limited in what they can do once you get this guy down on the board. And if they can't answer it, odds are you're probably just going to burn them for a game with this card. I love this engine. I love these 7 cards here, and we are playing 2 Assimilate to search out Piccolo Juniors, so that gives you 6 copies of your turn 2 play. Here's our unison lineups. We're playing 4 Demigrows. I think it's just the best unison you could play in a strategy like this because it only costs the 1 green, so it's very cheap. You can charge green on 1, play this guy, charge red on 2, play Piccolo, and of course you get Frieza Charismatic Villain, which is an absolutely insane counterplay. And it's really nice too that after you've counterplayed with it, it's alliance fodder. You do need more ways to get alliance fodder on the field now, since they did ban, again, Tao, Belmod, stuff like that. Fusamasu, just a great pairing with Frieza. It just makes perfect sense. Like, you can alliance with Frieza, tap it, and then your opponent's probably just gonna, like, I don't know, swing into it next turn or clear it somehow, but you can just crack it into a Fusamasu, and that's just really insane value. I know this card's a bit expensive. It's not like 100% necessary, but I think it's really good. Then for our kind of like a rivalish package, we have Nappa, 4 copies. I would love to play a super combo that draws, but honestly, we can't play Raditz because we're charging red and green energy. So I think Nappa is just the next best thing. Like, and the value you get off of it is insane. You know, being able to basically use all 4 of your super combos twice for like kind of like 8 super combos. They don't help you cycle through your deck, but you do get to use them multiple times. And with the arrival package of Gogeta, Resonant Explosion, Acrobatic Warrior, that gives us some more alliance fodder. Gogeta just KOing battle cards mid-battle is really nice, and Acrobatic Warrior dealing an additional burn damage to the opponent, whether you're going for a Piccolo Junior swing or a Gohan Master Surpass swing is really solid. And then Trunks helping blast, just free play if you control a red-green, helps with the alliance. And the Blocker Revenge is actually more relevant than you might think it is. There's a lot of random times where like I just put this guy in play and then it's part of my defense for the turn. It's really, really good. Then we have some of the red staples. So we have S3 Goku, one-hit wonder. So our leader just allows us to play this card for free. So it's almost like a replacement for Tao. No critical, which is unfortunate, but it is another free play card you can get into the board for your alliance stuff. Broly Crown, I think, is just very, very good right now. The format's very mid-rangey. Decks are leaving up a good amount of energy, so it's just a really solid card. Play it, and then you can alliance with it. And we're just playing one Goku Legend Personified. It's a card I'm kind of like trying out right now. Games are going longer, so the Bond 3 requirement of your opponent having 3 or more energy is not very difficult to meet. You just play it, you draw a card, and as long as you have several battle cards in play, which you should, it's going to be a 25k either attacker or alliance target. So that plus Piccolo is going to be a 41k attacker before even comboing, so that's pretty solid. Then for our defense, we have 4 Topos. I think Topo's really good right now. Like, yes, blue is relatively popular, but it's not the most popular thing. So this guy's not always going to run into a Godsling Technique Trunks. Black as well, it can run into Super Kamehameha, but your other matchups, it's a lot more safe in. And you can just read the situation. If your opponent doesn't have the correct unison, or if your opponent doesn't have the 4 less life for Super Kamehameha, Topo is going to be really solid. And again, it's alliance fodder, which we just want to have battle cards that enter play and allow us to activate alliance. Testing the opposition, again, just a super solid card. I really like the fact that this is just stops 2 attacks for 1 card. You could play Testing the Opposition. I don't think it says Mono Red Saiyan only card. I think it says Mono Red Saiyan. So you could play that. But again, I like Testing the Opposition, just getting yourself from that 5 to 4 if you need to, which you don't really need to a lot in this deck because your leader does self-awaken. But again, I think it's just a really high value defensive card, stopping those 2 attacks for 1. And the thing with Testing the Opposition is it's a really good card for stopping like go wide, like aggressive types decks, but you basically have Topo for that. So why not just Testing the Opposition to get a free negate that also puts a blocker in play. And 2 Violent Rays, I think it's just a good main deck tech. I don't think you need this in a main board per se. Like, you could just easily side it, but in a best of 1, I'd probably recommend including 2 Violent Rays. I think that's a pretty good way to go. And then the final cards in the deck, we do have 2 SS4 Bardock fighting against Fates. And normally you'd see Champa next to this, but because we run so many 10k combos, I really didn't want to run Champa, especially because our win cons already have built-in damage. So Vegeta Resolve Renewed is a one of that I'm playing. Counter play, if the battle card being played is 15,000 power or less, it's placed in owner's drop area instead of being played, then play this card, so it's our alliance fodder. Permanent, if you have 3 or more energy, reduce energy cost this card in your hand by 2. So it is a 1-drop that stops the play of anything 15 or less. So that could be like a Gohan Baby's Minion, for example, a Boo on Adulterated Malice. That could be pretty solid. And the second effect, or the third effect rather, just has to be a Vegito card for your leader. So that doesn't really matter. But anyways, guys, hope you enjoy the deck. I've been having a lot of fun playing this one. It's not one of my most competitive decks. At least I just don't think red-green is that well positioned right now, at least as far as SS3 Masters goes. Like, if you wanted to play red green, maybe like launch, maybe it'd be a little bit better aggressively, maybe, but I don't know. I think there's potential here, so I do want to know in the comments below what you guys think. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next time.
All right, now that you guys finished watching that video, they should have never banned fucking Child's Wish. They shouldn't. Super Shadow was the best deck in the game. Super Shadow was the best.